this is my personal list of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. Um, yeah, so let's get right into it. Starting at number 7, probably no surprise here, is going to be Assassin's Creed Unity. Now, okay, so this game, man, it was a huge fucking mess. The story was all over the place. I personally did not give two shits about Arno at all. He was probably to me like probably the assassin that brought the least to the table. Like, he just didn't feel new. He just didn't feel memorable at all to me. Um, and like funny enough, I didn't even have too many bugs or anything like that. The major issues I ran into it was really the frame rate, but besides that, I never had any game breaking bugs. So that still says something that um that this game had other problems, not just the fact that it didn't work for most people. I also had a huge issue with the mission designs. The side missions just all felt the same. You were either killing like just a couple Templars or something, or you're stealing documents. Something I really like about AC games in general is that they give you a lot of variety in a lot of the side missions that you do. Be it the Tombs and Brotherhood in AC2, the Da Vinci War Machines from Brotherhood, things like that. Um, so it just really felt, I don't know, man. Like the Paris stories were literally just the same thing over and over again. Um, what were they called? The Nostradamus Enigmas or whatever. Those, I mean, honestly, who the fuck, who did those? Seriously, I think I probably did like one of those and probably never touched it again. Um, and then the murder mysteries, I don't know, man. It looked like for that it was really setting up for what would come in Syndicate, because it looks like it's a lot more elaborate in Syndicate. But I don't know, man. That game, that game is just one huge blur to me. Like, I really did not. It just left a sour taste in my mouth and actually made me really not even want to get Syndicate. It's actually the part of the reason why I have not to this day gotten Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Alright, so number 6 is the OG, the one that started it all for the franchise, that a lot of us love, Assassin's Creed 1. Um, Now, I don't I don't really blame this game too much for, being, this far down on the list, but it was kind of, getting, you know, what's that term? Like just dipping your toes in the water. It really was the thing that started the framework for what the franchise would eventually be, but it was kind of disappointing that that framework was kind of weak. The missions were really repetitive. The story just wasn't too compelling. You had all these immersive worlds, beautiful worlds, along with the beautiful soundtrack from Jesper. Um, but I don't know, you just don't really feel all too connected when you're not really motivated. You don't really feel Altair's motivations in this game. I don't know. That was me personally. Um, on top of, I don't know, man. Like it's definitely a weird game, but I mean, we have this game to thank for setting up some really great games that would come in the future. So I mean, not much else to really say about AC1. All right, so coming in at number 5 on the list, we have Assassin's Creed 3. Um, so this game was very, how do I say it, like divisive. In the gaming community, man, like a lot of people hated this game, but at the same time, I think a lot of the hardcore fans really liked it. Um, I honestly, man, I think I'm like 50-50 on this game. There's a lot of things in this that I think personally worked, and a lot of things that don't. Um, I mean, for instance, I definitely think the setting just didn't work for an Assassin's Creed game. I think in retrospect, the American Revolution is really cool and unique, but Boston and New York just don't stack up to cities like Florence and Venice that are these super tall buildings. Um, Also, I really like Connor. I'm one of the five people that actually do. I sympathized with him because he was, he lived a very tragic life. He saw his village, his mother get burned down, and he had a lot of people fuck him over, basically. Um, so personally, I was invested in him because I felt bad for him, and I think that was something different from Altair and Ezio. So I thought that dynamic was actually pretty cool, just having a different character than those two. Um, I thought Hatham was pretty fucking awesome, and I liked Achilles and Zio. Um, I will say I don't. What really bugged me about this game in particular was the major assassinations were all either cutscenes or you like a quick time event, and that's. I mean, come on, that's not Assassin's Creed. It's usually these open-ended assassinations. You get to tackle them how you want it. I don't know, man. We have this game to thank for the naval combat and some pretty fucking cool. Like the seasons were fucking awesome. So yeah, I mean, some things were pretty good, worked out really good in this game, and other things, I just rather not see in an AC game ever again, basically. All right, so next up we have literally one of my personal favorites, Assassin's Creed Revelations. Um, Now, I just, for the life of me, man, I don't understand why people like hate this game with a burning passion. Um, it to me personally, it only improved on Brotherhood's like what Brotherhood put on the table. Um, I felt like the whole Brotherhood system of having your recruit assassins worked so much better in Revelations. I liked how even some of them had their own personal like side missions, which I thought was really cool. Like I actually did as many as those as I could. So yeah, the Brotherhood whole system was a lot deeper. Um, don't even get me started on just revisiting Altair was such for me personally at the time was such a powerful thing because I really wanted to know what happened to him after AC1, and it just really builds him up as literally like the grandfather, or like even the godfather of the whole entire assassin order. Just what he means to the Assassin's Brotherhood as a whole, like, is just such an understatement. He is the guy who made the order what it is today, basically. Um, and then just of course closing out Ezio and Altair's story too in one game is literally like fan service, but like the fan service that I want, man. Um, and the city of Constantinople itself felt refreshing to me. Because we finally got out of that Italy setting, and Constantinople was very colorful and it felt different in its own way. And I really liked it. And to this day, I still think Revelations has the best soundtrack, or at least tied with AC2's soundtrack. But the soundtrack for Revelations is absolutely amazing. All right, so up next we have Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Um, so this game, man, really personally for me, it's really a toss up between Revelations and Brotherhood. I really love them about equally, probably I'd say. Um, so I think I'm really putting up Brotherhood first, because it introduces, of course, the whole renovating and buying shops thing that I really liked because it implemented, kind of gameplay aspects with what was going on in the story. You're taking back Rome from the Borgia's corruption, and it makes sense that you're buying and renovating these shops. Um, so I thought that was just how they did that was really well done. Of course, continuing Ezio's story, I love the modern day continued. That fucking cliffhanger in the modern day was absolutely fucking crazy back then. Um, Cesare Borgia, I think personally for me, was probably my favorite villain in any AC game. Definitely either him or Hatham, but I really like Cesare a lot. Um, the city, Rome itself was very diverse. You know, you had the city itself, and you had the countryside, the Colosseum. Jesper's fucking music again was absolutely fucking beautiful in this game. Although I would have the music probably smack dab in the middle. I don't think it's like my top three, but it's definitely somewhere in the middle. It was definitely great, but it's not like one of my favorite soundtracks. Um, but yeah, I mean, Brotherhood was a solid game. It definitely improved on what AC2 did great and just made it better. All right, coming in at number two, it is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Um, now, funny enough, I'm one of the few people who was kind of indifferent about the whole naval stuff. I wasn't really too crazy about the game being 60-40. You know, being I think it was 60% on land and 40% on the sea. I just wasn't too keen of it being that much out on the water. But they really won me over. Well, because personally, you know, I prefer the in city gameplay, the classic AC style. But yeah, they won me over with it. In terms of like the content and side missions you can do, it was probably one of the most varied. Um, in that retrospect, you know, I forgot to talk about it in my kind of Brotherhood section, but how Brotherhood had all, you know, the Romulus layers and the Da Vinci machines that you could do. Here you had underwater stuff. You could harpoon, you know, like the whales and sharks and stuff like that, and the assassination contracts and the naval fort things you could do. Um, I love the story. This is probably my favorite story in an Assassin's Creed game. Number one or number two for sure, because just because of Edward, his character development, what they were able to do with his character in one game was absolutely fucking amazing. Um, you know, we saw development with Ezio through three games, but I thought it was crazy that they were able to tell this huge, you know, kind of grand story with Edward. Um, how basically he's very cynical of the creed at first, you know, pokes fun at it all the time, and I just like how at the end of the game, he realizes what's important in life. The way that he was living before all this, you know, he just realizes he's gonna be very fucking lonely. If he keeps living selfishly and just thinking about money all the fucking time. So I love that he developed into a good man. Um, yeah, I just love the game for that. Not even to mention like the seamlessness between getting from boat to land. I do want to mention the modern day. I mean, this is the game that started the whole first person bullshit, so that's whatever. And I do have to give a shout out to just basically the progression system with the Jackdaw. Like it really felt like a grind, unlike any other AC game where like AC3 for example, you didn't feel like you had to upgrade anything in that game. Unlike this game, you actually had to. All right, so I'm just gonna get straight into this one, man. You guys already know what it is. It's fucking AC2. Um, I mean, first of all, just to kind of give you guys an example of how much this game impacted me, this game literally made me want to learn Italian. I went through 4 fucking years of hell of learning through Italian. I took fucking AP Italian, man. Um, just because of this game, like how obsessed I was with Ezio Auditore da Firenze, and just it was such a fucking great game, man. It literally a masterpiece. So I mean, where do I even fucking begin? Just the locations were fucking beautiful. It was such a departure from, even though you know AC1's locations were cool. You know, color wise they were pretty bland. So us going into AC2, we have Florence and Venice, these big, beautiful, and colorful cities that felt alive and vibrant. and it was really such an improvement on what AC2 did. Not only like just the cities, but you want to talk about, oh, now there's a whole economy system. You can upgrade your weapons this time. Change your outfits, your color dye and stuff of that nature. They introduced factions, a much more deeper story that kept me engaged start to finish. We follow Ezio literally from birth all the way to his death. Which I mean, like I just said, it kept me hooked and just didn't let me go. Um, and I mean, just the fact us getting introduced to Ezio, much more of a better character than what Altair was in the first game. For sure, he was charismatic and likable. He was the ladies' guy. Um, Someone who definitely was a joy to kind of have this journey with as we follow him through this game. Um, yeah, I mean, there's so many great things about this fucking game. Just for Kid, this and Revelation soundtrack are probably my favorite in the series. Um, I think the moment that this game was gonna be great was when, I mean, the title intro to this game. Um, that literally set the bar for the game, and I think personally, and for a lot of fans too, that title intro literally sets the bar for every other title intro that's come out for every other AC game. So you're basically like, oh, how does this title intro stack up to? You never say, how does this title intro stack up to Revelation's title intro? No, you always say, how does it stack up to AC2's with Ezio and Federico standing on the rooftop? Like, always, without a doubt. Yeah, you knew this game was going to be great from that moment. Um, it's a good life we live, brother. And, the best. Like, so good. Yeah. And like having Venice rooftops playing during that scene, like it just cemented for me that I fucking Venice rooftops is my favorite song in any AC game. It's my absolute fucking favorite. Um, and the modern day, is expanded off of AC1, and that cliffhanger modern day ending with the introduction of Minerva forever will be a mind fuck. It was absolutely amazing how they ended that game off. Alright, so now you guys might be wondering, hey, where's Assassin's Creed Syndicate? And alright, so before you guys fucking burn me alive at the stake, um, I didn't play Syndicate. I haven't even bought Syndicate. For this, so I'm gonna ask you guys: is it really worth it to pick up this game? Because I've been studying it very closely, and from what I've been able to see all over like reviews and stuff like that, it's very divided. Like it's either people are saying it's pretty good or it's not too good. And but I think the general consensus is that it's just another AC game. Like it's just average. And that's the thing that disappoints me the most. Like I don't want to just play, another Assassin's Creed game. Like that phrase alone really pisses me off that, oh, it's just another AC game. Like Assassin's Creed 2 was not just another AC game. Black Flag was not just another AC game. These were huge improvements on games before them. And they were incredible games. Like, they're hold to a pretty high standard. Um, so like, I just don't want. I don't want to be playing what I feel like is minor improvements, like from Brotherhood to Revelations, every year. So I'm looking at Syndicate, and to me personally, it just looks more of the same from Unity, which really disappoints me. Um, Probably the only thing that's really interesting me about Syndicate is the two characters. That's really about it. So like, I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about Syndicate? Should I pick it up? Was it good or was it just average? You know, was it just literally, like I said before, another AC game? Um, because I don't know, man. This series is I'm getting fatigued, and I hate to say it. And then like another thing that I know has pissed off a ton of people, and it's also pissed off me, is where they've been taking the modern day. Um, Me personally, I was so invested in what was going on in the present day with Desmond in AC2, Brotherhood, and Revelations, and even in 3. But this whole first person initiates bullshit that we're getting in 4 and Unity and Syndicate with a couple of cutscenes, just it's just not cutting it, and I'm not interested. I don't care about anything that's going on now, and it sucks because I was just so invested and I loved that second storyline that was going on, and it just sucks that I don't know. It seems like they don't even care about it themselves. So that's my little rant about Syndicate, man. But honestly, does Syndicate do enough, or are you guys also feeling fatigued with the franchise? Um, tell me, is Syndicate a good game, or do you guys feel the same way that I am after playing it? If you guys played it. Yeah, so I mean that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, and once again, please let me know your thoughts on Syndicate. How was it for you? And peace.